Well, hello. I'm Alex. This is Josh. We are the target audience. Content's made for absolutely everybody, but we think it's specifically made for us and hopefully for you as well. Today, Season 2, Episode 21, Star Trek, the original series, Patterns of Force. And we're watching this on Paramount Plus, and for the little thumbnail thing, I saw a shirtless Spock and a shirtless Kirk, so I'm already hooked and hyped. So it's going to get spicy, and I'm all for it.
Nice, shirtless Spock. That'll be new. Yeah, last episode we watched, Return to Tomorrow, was, from my favorite director of Star Trek so far, Ralph Senensky, and no surprise, I loved the direction, the storytelling, and the score in the episode. The episode itself wasn't super exciting or anything, but it was a different type of story on the whole God complex thing. They kind of went a different way with it, with actually possessing Kirk and Spock and all of that. We got to see different performances from, Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner. So enjoyed that one quite a bit, and been hearing a lot about this one. A lot of people not telling us if it's good or bad, but saying just that they're excited for us to watch this. So I don't know what that means.
That's good. Yeah, that's interesting. Sometimes people are like, oh, I haven't thought about this episode since I watched it because I didn't think anything of it. And we rewatch it and they notice new things. And then there's the other side where they're so excited for us to watch this where it almost puts a little pressure on us to like it. But we'll see. We'll see.
If it's your first time here, we have watched every episode of Star Trek, the original series, in release order up to this point. So you can go check out all those reactions here on the channel. And if you ever want to see our full uncut reactions and discussions to these episodes, as well as everything else we're watching on the channel, such as Firefly and other things, you can check out our Patreon. The link to that is in our description. Make sure to subscribe and become part of the target audience.
Try to raise John Gill on Starfleet Communications.
Starfleet's been trying for 6 months. If he's still alive, isn't it unlikely that he'd receive us now?
I don't know, Bones. I knew him very well. He was my instructor at the academy.
Ooh.
No response on any Starfleet channel.
Spacecraft approaching from inner planet.
They just printed out that picture of him and put it up there.
Just glued it on there.
It is an unmanned probe which seems to be carrying a warhead.
Unmanned, so just a missile.
Thermonuclear warhead. There's generations ahead of where these people should be technically.
Oh, no. The Klingons again? Or maybe it was John Gill. All right, what do we got? Let's go.
Captain, no response from John Gill on any channel.
Must be dead.
I love the way he says dead.
Spock, you and I will beam down. Bones, one precaution. Prepare a subcutaneous transponder in the event we can't use our communicators. Insert the transponder, Doctor.
Now they're wearing civilian clothes?
Energize.
Oh, so it's going to be like an Earth-type planet?
Hide! They're right behind me!
Xeon pig. On your feet, pig.
What?
You swine have defiled us for the last time, but that's now ended. Move!
Well, that's not good.
Do you recognize those uniforms?
Mid-20th century Earth, the nation state called Nazi Germany.
Holy shit.
An announcement from Fuhrer headquarters. Today, the Fuhrer has ordered our glorious capital to be...
But they have like a futuristic TV?
...began flushing out the Xeon monsters who've been poisoning our planet.
How could this have happened?
Oh, I think the Nazis sent something into space and it landed on some planet. Oh. And just like the Mob episode, it adopted the whole Nazi philosophy.
At this patriotic demonstration, Deputy Fuhrer Melikon presented the Iron Cross, second class, to Darius, hero of the fatherland.
It's weird to think at the time of this release, we're only 30, 35 years from World
Yeah.
War II? Not even?
Yeah.
That's John Gill. The Fuhrer?
What?
Oh, shit.
What kind of monsters are the Zeons sending against us?
You're right. He's not one of us.
What do you mean,
Look
us?
at him.
Nice.
Suppose we pass ourselves off as Nazis, Captain.
If John Gill is the Fuhrer, it would seem the logical approach.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. I was so happy for, like, mobster Spock, but now seeing Nazi Spock, it's like, no.
What have we here? A Zeon?
Yes, obviously he's not one of us. I captured him.
Gives it back to him.
Today we have a surprise planned for you, Zeon.
Same plan.
You should make a very convincing Nazi.
He was like, what do you mean by that?
Wait, yeah.
Your helmet, remove it.
Oh, no.
Do they even know what Vulcans are? Oh, no.
Oh, Spock's just taking it. Oh, my God. Oh, but the green blood, nice,
Nice touch, yeah.
Do you wish to speak now?
I never would have guessed Spock would have a hairy chest.
John Gill was the kindest.
Do we get our shirts back?
Why do the Nazis treat you as enemies?
Why do the Nazis hate Zeons?
Why are the Nazis here?
Were they like this when you first came here?
Warlike, yes, but not vicious. That started when the Nazi movement began. It was only a few years ago.
It would coincide with the time of John Gill's arrival.
He's only been there for a few years.
The transponders.
Yes.
Wait, if you have the transponders, just call the ship. Oh, the thing that that Bones injected in them.
To reach that light, I shall require some sort of platform.
I would be up.
Lasers were able to achieve the necessary excitation even using crude...
Nice base.
Mr. Spock, the guard did a very professional job on my back. I'd appreciate it if you'd hurry.
Yes, of course.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
You realize that the aim will, of course, be very crude.
I don't care if you hit the broadside of a barn. Just hurry, please.
Why should I aim at such a structure?
Mind, Spock, just get on with the job.
He knows what he's doing.
Beautiful. Oh, Spock.
I'll talk. The pain.
There you go.
3 for 3. Hey! Earn your place. I like it. 4 for 4.
Abram, thank God you're well. This is my brother. They were in the prison, beaten as I was, Abram.
There may be a way of stopping this insanity.
Abram, I owe them my life.
Letty is dead. Shot down in the streets.
I like all the alien names.
I'm sorry, am I supposed to care about this person that I never met or heard of until now?
Damn it.
Oh,
Blue screen, Captain.
Oh, this woman, she was on the TV.
what was your plan? Speak. It's the last chance you'll get.
Oh my gosh.
Now we've finished the job.
They killed that guy we just met.
Well, I'm glad he got his scene in.
Killed the last of us off. What do? Turn the guns against yourselves? No, don't shoot. Don't shoot, please. No. Wait.
Wait, what the hell?
No more. You've proved they're on our side.
No, please forgive us. But we had to be absolutely certain.
The whole thing was a ruse?
This young lady is a Nazi.
I'm an Ecosian, fighting the terrible thing that's happened to my people.
Oh.
I'm Captain James Kirk of the United Spaceship Enterprise. This is my first officer, Mr. Spock. John Gill, your Fuhrer, was sent here by the Federation.
That the Fuhrer is an alien.
That is correct.
I grew up to admire him.
thought he was only there a few years.
Yeah, I was about to say, what do you mean you grew up?
Lights!
You, what is your business here?
Get me some lights on her.
It's Party Secretary Daras.
That's a good idea to get them in.
No matter how carefully one computes the odds of success, there is still a certain exhilaration in the risk.
Very good, Spock. We may make a human of you yet.
I hope not.
Gentlemen, this is for the record of the Fuhrer's final solution speech.
We're documenting the men responsible
story which might move you closer together, please.
It was John Gill, but he never moved, never once looked up.
He may be drugged. We need McCoy.
Bones is going to come in like a Royal Rumble entrant number 30.
Who's it going to be?
I'm a doctor.
It's true. I only half believe what you said.
It's so ridiculous. So they just have all these different outfits up on the Enterprise, or what?
Chairman Enig.
The colonel is drunk. He's had a little too much to drink.
The guy's not that stupid.
Hail the Fuhrer.
Hail Fuhrer.
Hail the Fuhrer.
He's got to act drunk.
Hail the Fuhrer. Hail the Fuhrer.
Look at him. He doesn't even look alive.
The job ahead is difficult.
Oh, come on.
And dedication.
His speech follows no logical pattern.
Random sentences strung together.
Someone intercuts a Joe Biden speech. Oh my God. I was about to say, like, there's like footage of Hitler's speeches, and he's like fully shown. He's super, like, you know,
charismatic
moving
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like this guy.
Definitely drugged, almost comatose.
Or maybe he has been the Nazi leader this whole time, but just coincidentally, someone just drugged him.
No reaction. Whatever you gave him isn't working.
I wonder if there's any people in like in the 60s that just like walked in while this episode, like right in the middle, and to see Spock and Kirk like that, or just like, what?
I've created a condition in which Gill cannot initiate speech or any other action, but he can reply to questions.
Well done, Spock.
Gill, why did you abandon your mission? Why did you interfere with this culture?
Do you think he did it on purpose? Look at him.
Took lesson from Earth history.
But why Nazi Germany?
Most efficient state Earth ever knew. At first, it worked. Then Melicon began to take over.
It's like you would have to use the same exact logos and everything, like and like gestures and mannerisms.
Yeah, like so many other episodes, like, oh, it's an allegory for this, or it's an allegory for that. But it's like, with this one, they literally, like, took the real life thing. You know what I mean? Instead of...
You've got to tell those people what happened. You're the only one who can prevent the slaughter.
Despite this guy being in the state, he's still, like, it was his idea for the Nazi part. It's like,
yeah, like,
you know what I mean? It's like,
definitely still be responsible.
Oh, they did some good things, too. Like, okay, Kanye.
People of Ecos, we were betrayed by a self-seeking adventurer. All units are to return to base. Melicon is a traitor to his own people and all that we stand for.
Oh my gosh. Was that guy in the whole episode? Because honestly, I don't even know who it is.
There's been enough killing. Now we'll start to live the way the Fuhrer meant us to live.
We must stop the slaughter.
You did that, Professor. You told them in time.
All right, I do like that decision, you know, because like we said, I mean, he did make the mistake and start this, so him dying kind of makes sense, you know.
You've given us all a new chance. Thank you.
So he was in on it.
How could a man as brilliant, a mind as logical as John Gill's, have made such a fatal error?
The problem with the Nazis wasn't simply that their leaders were evil, psychotic men. They were. But the main problem, I think, was the leader principle.
What he's saying, Spock, is that a man holds that much power just can't resist the urge to play God.
Thank you, Doctor. I was able to gather the meaning.
Spock, you obviously don't
Obviously, Doctor, you failed to accept...
Gentlemen, we've just been through one civil war. Let's not start another.
Solid, I gotta say, solid. I forget the director's name. I'm gonna have to find that, but
John Meredith Lucas was the writer. Vincent McEvedy, director.
Gotcha. Is that a Joseph Peavney fake name?
Pen name.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of direction and standing out, I mean, it felt like a standard Star Trek episode. There wasn't that much creative music or cinematography, so it felt pretty standard in that part. But I mean, I'm just looking at that from like a director adding their own flair to it, not the episode on its own, but yeah, very solid episode. It felt like a collection of a few Star Trek ideas combined into one, like a society basing its whole thing off something rogue Starfleet officer getting it wrong. It's like once again proving that like the Enterprise is the only good part of the Federation. It seems like everyone else sucks. But we get to see the boys in human clothes again. Always appreciate that. But yeah, I think a very solid entry. It got a lot of good twists and turns. A lot of like, oh, wasn't expecting that type moments. And it just felt weird how like everything in the show so far has been like an allegory or like representation of something that happened in human history, whether it's the Vietnam War, whether it's this, it's like, but this, they're like, what if we actually used, like, maybe because it's like fresh off being so terrible, only happening like 30 years prior. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's really, show how bad this is. And also, it wasn't just a completely bad Starfleet officer. He was like slightly inspired by a bad thing, and then someone else took it to the next level, which added an extra layer of twist on it. But yeah, man, this one's gonna sit on me for a bit. I like this one a lot. It's just I can't help but think about people tuning in 1969, 7, whatever, just coming in to see Spock and Kirk in Nazi uniforms, just going, what? Especially being like not so far from that happening. But I like this one a lot. I do.
I didn't like it at all. So, I mean, to me, it was just like, don't get me wrong. I think the premise could have been, well done. When we first found out, when they first, the Nazi soldiers turned the corner, and then we saw the video package of, the Nazi footage on TV. Like, I was like, okay, like, it's kind of on the nose, but, we'll see what it's like. I'm all in. And I don't think there's anything inherently, I mean, we talked about it a little bit during the reactions, nothing like inherently, offensive or bad or anything about just including Nazis in your fictional thing. Like, I'm not Jewish, so I can't speak on that fully, but I at no point felt like it was in bad taste. But I just felt like they could have done a lot more with it. Like, the idea of someone who's from Earth going to another planet, bringing the Nazi culture with them, and then implementing it on that planet and in that community. I feel like you could have done more with it. Or like you said, could have had it be a metaphor for that. It doesn't have to be exactly Nazis, but something very similar, an authoritarian, fascist, kind of the same idea. But they go ahead and they do the on the nose, like literally exact same symbol and names and everything terms of the Nazis, but then don't really do anything with it or make really much of a point just beyond the whole, like, it doesn't matter if you had good intentions, someone evil is gonna, take advantage of it. It's like, yeah, I mean, obviously. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it didn't really offer much, and I just found myself kind of bored by the time the episode was wrapping up. I was like, they really haven't gotten to anything or done anything worth of note, in my opinion. Nothing hit me hard. The guy that died at the end, the evil guy, I don't even know who it was. Like, I'm sure he was in the episode, but when he was like revealed as the bad guy, I'm like, who is this guy? I don't even know who this is. So nothing about the episode really stuck out at all to me.
Gotcha. Yeah, fair points. I definitely agree with all of that. I just like the twists and turns and just the character stuff. Absolutely. And we finally got, it's been a while, but we got an ending with like the big three just busting each other's balls on the bridge, which I always enjoy. But yeah, I guess in terms of like just storytelling, I feel like everyone had a place. even the guy they brought along, a guide, and they introduced you to the secret society, and I mean, the underground thing where they think they're caught. It's like, oh no, we're all trying to overthrow this. But I feel like us watching this just back to back, it's almost like a detriment because some stories do. Like I can like list. I can't remember the names, of course, but I can think of 4 or 5 episodes that this one reminds me of. Where like, oh, it took a little bit from that, it took a little bit from this,
I definitely get what you're saying there. That is part of it. But for me, it's not even like I'm really relating it to other episodes. I just found it pretty dull. Like, I just couldn't really get into it. And, that's not necessarily all the episode's fault. But when I look at, when I'm looking here at the director and the writer of the episode, I do think it's kind of ironic now that I'm looking at it because the director of the episode also directed Dagger of the Mind and Miri, which are 2 of my least favorite of the whole show. And the writer of the episode wrote The Changeling from this season, which I thought interesting story, but was one of the most boring episodes of the season. So maybe that plays into it. It's just their style of writing and directing, doesn't hit me, a certain way. That could definitely be it. I also think it's interesting. I thought one of the best parts, the best scene of the episode was what you mentioned, where they were in that underground cave and thought they were caught, but then Doris ends up being on their side, and that was cool. That was a good scene for sure. And I looked at her because I thought that actress's name, Valera Nolan, she did a great job. She never acted again after this, or it looks like she had one small credit in something in a flashback, it says, but then never acted again, which I think is very odd. I hope that being in this episode didn't hurt her career or something.
Yeah, hopefully some commenters can shed a light on that. But also, I want to talk about how this episode really had no B plot at all, like no what's going on in the Enterprise. Mm-hmm. But for me, it still flowed quite nice. There's some episodes where it's like, I can remember like the Halloween themed one where we saw them unlock everyone from the wall. It's like, okay. Mm-hmm. Or you can tell they're, like stretching for time. But it's like with this one, despite no B plot, it didn't feel lethargic at all, which is interesting because it's like we just follow Spock and Kirk the entire time.
We finally got to meet, what was his name, John Gill? Or was it, yeah, that was his name, right? John Gill, I think.
Yeah, like he was just like this. We're gonna do the rest of the episode like this. Like, come on.
It's not like World War II or Nazi Germany has ever been a big interest of mine. So it's not like I've never really dove into stuff about it. And maybe when this episode came out, or even today, someone who has more knowledge of that empire and all those things, maybe this episode would have more interest in that regard because it's like they know more about that, so that interests them. That could also be the case. It could be ignorance on my part in terms of that, only knowing the basic facts coming into this 60 years after the episode release. So don't want to give the episode too many excuses. I'm not going to stand down from my opinion, which is that I don't like it and I thought it was dull. But you've said in the past with episodes, you're like, it's not that I hate the episode, I just will never think about this again. That's how I feel about this. It's like, this isn't my least favorite episode of the season, or I don't think it was poorly made. I just will never think about this episode again other than, oh yeah, it's the Nazi episode. Like, will literally be my only thought. So I probably won't remember a single other thing about it, to be honest, except for Spock's chest hair. I'll never be able to look at him the same.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to forget about Spock's chest hair or them in Nazi outfits. After I was so excited about seeing them in mobster outfits, and then they put them in Nazi outfits. It's like, God damn it. Now I can't get that out of my head.
All right, well, that's going to be our thoughts on it. Pretty good discussion, so I'm sure that you guys probably have a lot of thoughts about this one, too. I hope that at least our reaction, even though I didn't end up liking the episode, at least hopefully our reaction was, exciting and fun for you guys. I'm sure there's plenty of you that really disagree with me, or maybe there's some of you that are really on my side. So either way, comment, let us know what you think about this episode. And if it's your first time here, make sure to subscribe to the channel and become a patron so you can be part of the target audience.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching along with us. I'm Alex. This is Josh. We're the target audience. Content's made for absolutely everybody, but we think it's specifically made for us and hopefully for you guys as well. Thanks so much. See you next time.